Hello everybody, today is August the 1st of 2013 and in 15 days my baby will be 33 years old. 34. See, I'm starting to forget. Anyway, I just got done watching Ariel Castros sentencing. Yes, he pled guilty to everything, and we knew last week that he was going to get life without the possibility of parole. He ended up getting life plus 1,000 years. They had to do it formally. They had to tell him in a court of law what every charge carried, how much he was getting for every charge. The judge explained that they had to do it that way, and that's why they held it in the courtroom and did televise it. They also wanted to televise it because they said they wanted, after everything that Ariel Castro had done, they wanted people to be able to see it, and for anybody who wanted to speak to be able to do so. Nobody was sworn in, but they had the police officers and the psychologist and everybody up there tell them what they observed when they found Amanda Berry, Gina DeJesus, and Michelle Knight after being held captive for more than 10 years. The only one of the victims to speak was Michelle Knight. She was in the courtroom the whole time. And at one point, he turned around and looked at her like, what's she doing here? She got up there. She did speak. She's an amazing young woman. She, as they called her, was Ariel Castro's main punching bag. She is the one, as you know, became pregnant several times. And he beat her into abortion, causing her to lose her babies. And they did charge him with one count of murder for that. So she must have been quite far along with that baby. They showed pictures of the house, and it was awful. It was dark, it was dreary, it was, everything boarded up, and it was dirty, and they showed the pictures of the chains that he kept the girls chained with, and everything. It was so disgusting. But, all this we already know. Ariel Castro spoke for himself. And it was really, really, really bizarre. He's got a Kathy Bates mentality. You know Kathy Bates in the movie Misery, where she kidnapped the man that wrote the book Misery, and she held him captive because she loved him. And when he tried to escape and she found out about it, she took him with that big thing and broke both of his feet, and they said, God, I love you. That's the kind of mentality that Ariel Castro has, because listening to him talk, he said there was peace and harmony in that house. He said that he was a very good provider. He said that that when the girls said that he raped them, that just was not true. He said that all sex in the house was consensual, and as a matter of fact, they came to him. That's what he says. In his mind, there was peace and harmony. In his mind, they wanted him. He said that at one point, he said he wanted, because he drove a school bus. And he had left a little boy on the school bus one time. He got in trouble for that. They asked him about that, and he said, well, he said, in all fairness, that was a new route. He said he was a good provider, an excellent worker. The judge brought up the fact where your employer says otherwise. He said he was a good musician for a long time. His own son had made a statement the other day stating that he never plans to visit his father in prison. His son said that his dad used to beat his mother. And he said he got tired of seeing his mother sit in a corner crying. Ariel Castro had an explanation for that. He said, but what my son did not tell you was that she would just talk and talk and talk and wouldn't shut up. And I would tell her to shut up because the kids were there and she wouldn't listen. So I did what I had to do. He was blaming the victim. He at one point just come out and said, I'm not sick like everybody says. excuse me, he said, I'm not sick like everybody says. I have an addiction. He said porn was his addiction. He said he was addicted to porn, and that before the girls came along, that he was practicing the art of masturbation for 3 hours a day, every day. I didn't know that was an art, but hey, maybe once again, you know. So, he said that the girls came to him. He never raped them. He said, as a matter of fact, that he could tell none of them were virgins, and that they had had several sex partners in the past. He said he could tell that. He said he was a very good provider for them. But yet, when they found them, they were all malnourished, extremely underweight, dehydrated. They took pictures inside the house and showed shackles and chains, and where all of the windows and stuff were boarded up, he had little holes in the door, just enough, just to peek your eyes and stuff through for ventilation. But he was a good provider, though. Yeah, he was a good provider. Upon sentencing him, the judge gave him a no-contact order. Do not contact these women. Do not write them letters. Do not try to get in touch with them. He had the gall and the audacity to say, well, what about my daughter? Which was the daughter that he had with Amanda Berry. And the judge again told him, you have a no-contact order. You do not. She is considered a victim as well. She was kept kidnapped in that home. She is a victim. He said he was informed that he could go through the courts and get legal rights to his daughter as a parent. In other words, he's hoping to go to court and get legal rights as a father and have Amanda Berry, his victim, have to bring his daughter to see him in prison. That's never going to work. He's just sick. He's a sick, twisted individual. I couldn't believe half the stuff I was hearing. But in his mind, he did nothing wrong. In his mind, he's just as normal as anybody else, except he has an addiction to porn. Now that was weird. And as a matter of fact, I think it'll probably be on, they'll probably have a recap of it tonight on HLN, like on Nancy Grace or something. I don't like Nancy Grace. But if they do have a recap, I will watch it again, because I was just, it was just so bizarre. Just so bizarre. Him and Kathy Bates could have been sisters. Brother and sister. Anyway, so what do you think? Do you think that life plus 1,000 years was not enough and he should have got the death penalty? He would have, except actually the life plus 1,000 years was the plea deal. He agreed to that to avoid the death penalty. And, well, yeah, I don't think it really matters though, because somebody probably won't. They're either going to rape him in prison or they're going to kill him in prison, one of the two. And I hope they rape him before they kill him. Anyway, until next time, bye-bye.